Greetings to the TP200 lecturers. My name is Dinisha Naidoo. My student number is 212-05196, and today I will be sharing my reflection on my second year teaching practice. This journey was both challenging and rewarding, and I've grown significantly through the experiences I've encountered both in and out of the classroom. One of the key achievements I experienced during my teaching practice time was building strong relationships with my learners. I was able to create a classroom environment during my lessons that felt safe and inclusive, and I was able to make my students feel seen and both heard. I was also able to develop a sense of confidence in my lesson delivery as the teaching practice period ended, as I started to experiment with different teaching strategies to support the diverse learning needs of my students. However, one of my biggest challenges during my teaching practice this time was the management of my learners' classroom behavior during lessons. I had a large class, and some learners had very unique challenges such as fetal alcohol syndrome and ADHD. Managing the classroom while still meeting each learner's needs was overwhelming at times. To cope, I tried to incorporate more visual schedules, movement breaks, and structured routines, which helped to minimize the disruptions and support my learners' focus during my lessons. Another challenge I experienced was receiving consistent feedback from my mentor teacher. While I'm truly grateful for her guidance and support, she was often overwhelmed at times with her own workload and sometimes forgot to provide me the feedback I so desperately needed to improve. I learned to be more proactive by asking for feedback in small moments between classes or via time after school or quick notes rather than waiting for a formalized session to receive feedback on the lessons I taught. Reflecting on the 7 roles of a competent teacher, one role that stood out in my mentor's practice was learning mediator. I remember a specific lesson on where she introduced a new topic for grade 1 learners. I believe the topic was healthy eating. And she brought real food items and created group discussion activities, used a food pyramid that grade 1 learners could relate to and understand the concepts visually. She didn't just teach the content, she facilitated their learning by encouraging them to ask questions and make a connection from lesson to real life. Observing how she engaged with each learner in that classroom, despite their varied backgrounds and educational needs, taught me the power of creativity and active learning. Another role she embodied was leader, administrator, and manager. Although I mentioned challenges with feedback, I admired her ability to manage lesson planning, administration, and parent communication all at once. It showed me the demanding behind the scenes side of teaching that often goes unnoticed. From this experience, I learned that being a teacher is about more than just delivering content. It is about adaptability, empathy, and reflection. I learned the importance of differentiated instruction, especially when teaching learners who might have special needs. I learned that even small changes in classroom structure and routine can make a big difference in learners' behavior. And more importantly, I learned to be patient, both with myself and the teaching process, because growth isn't instantaneous. In conclusion, my second year teaching practice taught me lessons that go far beyond my textbooks. It taught me to open my eyes to the reality of teaching, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I've learned that support, flexibility, and continuous reflection and introspection are essential tools for each teacher. This experience has strengthened my desire to become an educator and has also tested me to challenge myself to achieve better levels of competency, but also incorporate ideals of compassion and responsiveness to all my learners. I look forward to carrying these lessons into my future classrooms and becoming the type of teacher who makes a lasting impact. Thank you for listening to my reflection.